What's up guys, IDK Player coming with another NASCAR Heat 3 video guys, and today we'll be talking about if NASCAR Heat 3 is a good game. So I took a while to make this video, and I actually wanted to make this video purposely after the 2019 DLC because I felt like after the 2019 DLC was released, we can now have a full view and a full rundown on everything from NASCAR Heat 3. So before we get into the video, shout out to my donators, Reverend Regime Store, Anthony Ortiz, JJ Fan 48, and that's it. So thank you guys for donating. Links to their channels will be in the description below. So without further ado guys, let's get started. So in this video, I'm not just going to give my opinion on if NASCAR Heat 3 is a good game or not. I'm going to give the opinion of most of the other people that play this game. So let's start off with my opinion first. Is NASCAR Heat 3 a good game, and why? My answer is, it's not a good game, but it's not a bad game. This is just my opinion. I would like to put, in my point of view, I would put NASCAR Heat 3 in the middle of a good game and a bad game because it lacks a lot of qualities, in my opinion, to be a good game, but it has a lot of qualities that if it didn't have, it would end up being a bad game. So in my eyes, I would consider it an okay game. Now, I know a lot of you guys have your own opinion on the game, and that's why I'm sharing my opinion first on NASCAR E3, and then after I share my opinion on is NASCAR E3 a good game or not, then I'm going to go to the majority rule, like the majority of fans that play NASCAR Heat 3, or the majority of NASCAR fans, and I'm going to give their perspective on if they think it's a good game or not. So let's start off with why I believe it's an okay game. So NASCAR Heat 3, okay, there's certain things that it lacks, okay? For it to not be a good game, the main thing in my opinion are the physics. The ping pong effect is not a good look for this game to begin with because, as you guys know, when you usually tap someone on the side, most likely they're going to get turned. Okay, if you tap someone on the side, you're going to bounce off them, hit the wall, and then you're going to have a ping pong effect and bounce into someone else. That is not a good look. That is not a good look at all. As you probably just saw right there actually on the screen, but too many times when in reality if you tap someone in the back bumper, they would turn right into the outside wall, while in reality the ping pong effect will play in and both of you guys will probably get turned. You'll go one way and the other person goes the other way. That is one of the main reasons why NASCAR Heat 3 lacks from being a good game, and that's why in my opinion it's considered a mediocre game, or I would like to say an okay game. But another thing I would like to say is that they did improve from it from NASCAR Heat 2. Another downside for me on why I think NASCAR Heat 3 is not a good game and why it's an okay game is the netcode, including in multiplayer. So as you guys know, if you've raced in multiplayer before, you guys already know that the netcode is horrible. In other racing games, usually when there's a car on your inside and you know you're clear and you come down, you're considered clear on the inside. But in NASCAR Heat 3, including if you play multiplayer, you know what I'm talking about. It looks like on your screen you're clear inside, including at Daytona, so you throw the block, but on the other driver's screen, you're not clear, and they go around, and due to the ping pong effect, they take out the whole field, or at least like 75% of the field. That is one big problem that they really need to fix, because it's, one, I'm not gonna lie, it's super annoying, including if you're the driver that's getting taken out, because most likely that they were clear on their screen, but they weren't clear on your screen. And sometimes even when you're the front runner and you don't want to take them out, you don't want to sometimes even take the chance and throw the block. That's another problem, and that has to obviously do with gameplay. So I feel like they really needed to fix the netcode issue, and the netcode issue plus the ping pong effect is a really bad look from NASCAR Heat 3, and why it's not considered a good game to me, and why it's considered an okay game. And now you guys might be thinking, IDK, you just gave like one of the main details on why NASCAR E3 is not a good game, and you're probably really thinking this too, including if you hate NASCAR E3, like you don't think it's a good game at all, you don't think it's an okay game, you think it sucks. But another thing is, on why I also think NASCAR E3 is an okay game, is because of the people I play with. The people I play with makes NASCAR Heat 3 super fun for me, including in the 2019 DLC, because if we really want to be like, hey, let's just hop on NASCAR Heat 3, have some fun a little bit, you know, laughing, giggling, that's what makes a game better than it actually is, in my opinion, because some people say, oh, I don't like NASCAR Heat 3 and all this other stuff. The thing is, I mostly play NASCAR Heat 3 for fun. I don't really like taking it seriously. That's why I usually don't do league races and all that other stuff. I just like to have fun. And including when you get a group of your friends just to play NASCAR Heat 3 for fun and you don't really think about all the negatives that are in the game, it makes NASCAR Heat 3 super fun, including the 2019 DLC, because a lot of people have said that the 2019 DLC have made the game feel like a little bit better, and I can see why, because even when I play the 2019 DLC, I just feel like the game is better. I just have that feel to it. But the thing is, the people I play with makes the game feel way better, and that's why I would say it's an okay game, because I'll just hop on NASCAR 3. Hey, let's hop on NASCAR 3, let's have fun. We play around, we do, stupid stuff, and it's just fun. It's just fun. We're just having fun, a group of people just having fun, laughing, giggling, and doing random stuff, and it's fun. That's what makes a game fun, including if you can have fun with your friends, it will be fun, because a lot of people didn't like Advanced Warfare. You guys know what Advanced Warfare is, Call of Duty. Most of you guys do. Some of you guys probably don't. A lot of people said they don't like Advanced Warfare. But me personally, it's one of my favorite Call of Duties ever. And it's because of the people I played with. They made the game 10 times better than it looked and seemed, because I was having fun playing it. So, if me personally, with the people I'm playing with, not streaming with, like, just playing by myself, or we're just having fun, okay? If we're having fun together, then there's no need for me to say, in my point of view, that the game is bad, because if I'm having fun doing it, then there's no point in me saying it's bad. But I do know that NASCAR Heat 3 does lack certain qualities that would make the game way better, and the two main parts are definitely the netcode, the ping pong effect, and there's a bunch of other things that we're going to get into on why most of the community thinks blank is a blank game. So this is the part of the video that 704 seriously needs to look at, including if people that work at 704 watch this game, because this is part that they really need to improve on. Let's be honest, most of the NASCAR community does not think NASCAR Heat 3 is a good game, okay? Let's be honest. Most of them think the game is bad or mediocre, okay? But most of them think it's not a good game at all. Like, not mediocre, they just don't think it's a good game, like, period, like they think it's bad, okay? Now, what I believe is totally different, obviously, from most of the community, because I even saw comments on Twitter saying, oh, NASCAR Heat 3 sucks, it's not a good game, and all this other stuff. Like, I understand why people think that, and in my opinion, I think 704 really needs to take these things into consideration, because if they improve on these things, NASCAR Heat 4 will be a way better game than NASCAR Heat 3. Now, most of the community, actually, let me rephrase that, the whole community knows that NASCAR Heat 3 is way better than Heat 2, and Heat 2 is way better than Evolution. Okay, we could all set that down on the table and agree on that. But most of the community can agree on probably the fact that the netcode and the ping pong effect is probably one of the main reasons I would say NASCAR Heat 3 doesn't, live up to being a good game, and why, in my opinion, I think it's mediocre, aka an okay game, and why most of the community thinks it's a bad game. So the thing is they really need to improve on that. The netcode and the physics, I understand that, but there are a lot of other things that I've heard on why people do not like this game. A lot of people in the community do not like how the graphics are in NASCAR Heat 3, and I can understand why, because if you played NASCAR 14 or NASCAR 15 or even NASCAR 08 or NASCAR 09, for its time, the graphics were amazing, okay? And for most of the community, they feel like NASCAR Heat 3 is some type of downgrade, including Evolution. They thought it was a huge downgrade. And Heat 2, they saw it improved. And NASCAR Heat 3, they saw the graphics improved dramatically from Heat 2, in my opinion. I can see that. But a lot of people do complain about the graphics are not good, and they don't also like the multiplayer servers, because as you guys know, the multiplayer servers, there's only that timer. You got 60 seconds, and the host cannot control the timer. Another thing is that since the host cannot control the timer, try to get your friends in, including if you're doing league races. Since you can't control the timer, everyone has to get it in within the 60 seconds, and if everyone doesn't, we all have to leave, back out, and set up the server again. Another thing people don't like is the fact that you cannot DNF in NASCAR Heat 3. Like, you could wreck your car as many times as you want, throw it in the fence, do a million backflips, and your car will still be running. The fact that the AIs, I believe the AIs can't even DNF either. Well, I mean, they can DNF, like, they can, blow an engine, just end the race if they want, but if they wreck into the outside wall, flip and do all that, they are still racing. That's another problem that a lot of people do not like about NASCAR E3 is that you can't DNF as a driver, and most of the time, the drivers themselves, the AI's cars, they cannot DNF either unless they have like an engine problem. They just go in the pits and you just stay in there the rest of the race. I also heard on some accounts that some people didn't like the damage model. Now, me personally, I don't mind the damage model. I actually think it looks pretty cool, but I heard a lot of people from the community saying they also don't like the damage model, so that's also something to take into consideration because right now, once again, I'm not thinking as just me, myself, and I'm thinking and talking as the full community and what the full community mostly, does not like about NASCAR E3 and why most of the community does not think NASCAR E3 is a good game nor a mediocre game. And now for the main reason why most of the community, including the older fans, I would even say like 25, 22-year-olds, and even people my age, don't think NASCAR E3 is a good game, even though me personally, I think it's an okay game and actually like playing it due to the people I play with. Why people that are my age and even the older fans don't think NASCAR E3 is a good game is because we have had some pretty good NASCAR games in the past. Me personally, my favorite NASCAR game was NASCAR 14. Another one that comes to mind that was really good to me was NASCAR 07 and NASCAR the game Inside Line. I know a lot of people didn't like 2011, even though me personally I just like 2011 because I was 10 years old and I thought, wow, this is really cool. I have a paint booth and it's just really fun to play with. That was just me personally. But the biggest game that most of the people like in the community is NASCAR Thunder 2004 and NR 2003. Those games are top tier NASCAR games. And to be honest, I understand why a lot of people think NASCAR E3 is not a good game because playing NASCAR Thunder 2004, you had so much things that you could have. Your drivers, so you play career mode, drivers retired, drivers came up. You had so many things that you could do. And me personally, I remember liking NASCAR 07 a lot because I got to unlock, fantasy drivers and, fantasy drivers, fantasy tracks and all that stuff. And I thought that was pretty cool. So the thing is, for me personally, I think if NASCAR E4 and future NASCAR games are going to be good, they're going to have to look at all these other older games, see what they had, and bring them back into future NASCAR games because those are the main reasons why a lot of people, in my opinion, think NASCAR E3 is not a good game because they lack all the fun things that people loved back then. And what they did was they didn't bring it back. Okay? So they need to work on that, in my opinion, because I already know most of the fan base, man, they would love to have back, Nazareth Speedway or Rockingham, bring back some old classic tracks, or even like, bring back how the old career mode was, drivers retire, other drivers come up, and I know there's a reason why most likely that won't come back, and that's due to licensing and all the other stuff. That's another video for another day, by the way, but there are so many things that future NASCAR games, present NASCAR games, and maybe even future NASCAR games might lack that older and previous NASCAR games had that a lot of people loved and a lot of people remembered, including from their childhood when they were young, including the older fans. So that will be it for today's video, guys. Thank you guys all for watching. If you guys are new, smack that sub button. Comment down below your opinions about this video and if you think NASCAR E3 is a good game or not and why. And don't forget that I don't think NASCAR E3 is a bad game. I think it's a mediocre or okay game. But I know most of the people in the community that usually play NASCAR games don't think NASCAR E3 is a good game. And a lot of people would love to see old things that were in previous NASCAR games to return to future NASCAR games and new future NASCAR Heat games and installments. So if you guys are new, don't forget to smack that sub button for more NASCAR Heat 4 news videos and NASCAR Heat 3 videos, NASCAR Heat 3 2019 DLC live streams, and Project Cars 2 live streams. Don't forget to smack that sub button, and don't forget to like this video if you did not already, and if you did enjoy this video. So I'll see you guys next time. IDK out.